Hi, this is Marty McNair from the KOBY Blueprint podcast, where courage, confidence, and self-advocacy are unleashed. We're excited today with our two guests, Elise Cooper and her mom, Danni Cooper. Welcome to the show. Good. So we're excited because we're at the McDonough School, the site of our next KOBY High School Student Athlete Summit, which is August the 23rd, next month. And really excited to have you all on the show. So how you been? And tell us a little bit about what's been going on.
I've been doing well. I've been doing, summer training, just getting ready for college, and I'm really excited about it. So,
Got it. Good seeing you. Thanks for coming. Danni?
Thanks for having us. This is a great initiative you have, and we're so lucky to be a part of it. But we are just happy that track ended off on a good note, high school, and now she's can enjoy some summer before heading off to college. So it's bittersweet.
Got it. So, Elise, tell us a little bit about who you are. I know who you are. You're obviously a McDonough graduate, class of 2025. Congratulations. But let's really talk. Not only were you one of the student athletes in our KOBY curriculum that we piloted at the McDonough School last year, you've been making some big strides. So you want to just share just a little bit about what you're doing and who you are. Just kind of give it to us from that perspective.
well, I've been running track since I was like 7. Most recently, I ran at nationals, New Balance nationals, outdoor, and I won the 200 meter dash. I ran 22:44. Sorry, I always forget. But that's the 5th fastest time ever nationally. So yeah, and then in indoor, I ran the 201 as well. I ran 22:06, which was the 2nd fastest of all time nationally. And I also ran the 300 indoor, which was a national record, and that was 36:3. Yeah, 36:30.
So when you're talking about these numbers, is this 36.3 seconds?
Yes, yeah.
Wow. And then you said 20 point something. This is seconds.
22 point. Yeah. So seconds and then mils. Yeah.
Really? Wow. So you're fast. Golly. Like you're really fast. So and I heard that you were an Olympian as well, a junior Olympian as well.
I did the Olympic trials last year for the 200, and I also did, like, when I was younger, when I did club track, I did the Junior Olympics many years. So yeah.
Right. Wow. So Mom, how does it feel what does it even take to even develop an athlete like that? And again, not only from a skill set, but from a mental, holistically, wholesome, like how do you keep a young person like this grounded at home?
Well, when they're younger, it's easier. When they're teenagers, I don't know. This is a different breed of teenagers. Yeah. But you live and you learn, and you have people you can share experiences with, your friends that help you through it. But I'd say, with track, it's genetics or any athleticism. So I think the genetics, the blessings that come with the journey. But I think it helped too, having all 3 children of mine in the same sport. Oh. So Elise has a twin, and then we have she's an older sister. So all of them, dove in track, and it was such a joy because I didn't have to be at different places with everyone. They were just all one-stop shop in the same sport. So I think they helped each other. And so a lot of that work was done for me. They helped each other, encouraged each other, trained with each other. But I think to keep it fun, I think we kept it fun because the club we were a part of, they gelled with the girls there, the boys there, and it was just a great family. So that was a good foundation for what was to come later.
Nice. So you talked about foundations, and that's really important. Everything starts at home. I'm a firm believer in that. And I remember Jordan being an alumni of McDonough, and I remember he was getting all of these letters, right? Like his sophomore year, his junior year, it literally, it was so much mail that we always tell the story, his mom, Tanya, and I, that the mail lady knocked on the door and was like, who lives here? Because it must be somebody really special because he had this many recruitment letters, right? And it's so easy, like you say, different genre of teenager now. And again, I remember we pulled Jordan to the side one day, right? And he's getting all these offers from all these schools. And he may have been in 11th grade. He was a junior at that time. And we kind of sat him down and was like, look here, big man, I know you think all of this is, the thing, but that don't really, you ain't there yet, right? And the big thing we were really focused, you need to pass algebra first, because if you can't qualify for the NCAA, all these letters really don't mean anything at that point. Now go take the trash out, right? So like our big goal was really to kind of keep him grounded the whole time. Has that been a challenge with Elise? Because we know Elise. She sat in our KOBY pilot class, the KOBY curriculum, and her demeanor just was, very attentive and just very, very low key. So any challenges in that?
Fortunately, no. I actually have to say that she is what you see is what you get. She has been quiet. She doesn't like to. When people say she's shy, I think she's just very inward. She's very serious, but she has a heart of gold, and she's always been humble.
Yeah.
So I think she challenged herself along the way to be very disciplined. And fortunately, I didn't really have to nudge her to stay on top of her schoolwork. And, of course, it was a priority in the house, that academics first, and sports a second, because it keeps you healthy. And then music keeps your mind good. So those were our philosophies. But she was really always focused. And, just like she is on the start line, she's like that in life. She's very focused and rises to the occasion. So, yeah, and helps around the house. She's very empathetic like that. She wants to make sure not one person carries the whole load. So.
Impressive. So let me tell you, as all parents think that their children are special, right? And we think our kids are going to go to the next level. I hear this all the time, right? And people call me all the time, especially in the football space. And one guy I spoke to recently, and he said his son was doing this, and he's lifting, and he's running, and he's this. And I kept saying, well, how tall is he? And he says he would do something else, right? And I'm like, well, how tall is he? And he was like, well, he's like 5'8" or 5'9". I'm like, and you want to get to a Division I? Like you got him doing everything but picking cotton almost, right? So Elise, I didn't see you slide mom $5 to say all those wonderful things about you. Man, like, you're really, let's kind of pull the covers off of it, right? We got to know a little bit about you. However, Elise, you're the first high school student athlete in Maryland with an NIL deal. Like, let's just get to the juicy part, right? How does that feel?
I mean, it feels amazing. I feel like I worked really hard to, keep moving up in track. So this is just really a great thing that's happened. Yeah.
Okay, so what does it feel like to be a Puma ambassador, right? Like, because when I came along, you had Puma, you had Adidas, you had Nike, right? Those were like the top three, in the hip hop world or whatever. And really just to kind of see, these sneaker brands evolve, and for you to be a part of that, like, and you're an ambassador, of this brand, like a brand, like that's huge. This isn't the local pizza shop. This is a international brand. So has that sunk in yet at all?
I mean, not really. It's still really new to me. But I mean, yeah, it definitely feels like I'm moving on to the next level. And I'm definitely like very, serious about it. Like I'm really excited, but I just try to, uphold their values, the values of Puma. And I definitely embrace it. It's a great thing.
Did they like send you a list of anything like, because I'm sure they did their research on you prior, what you were posting on social media. Like, I mean, this is a big accomplishment or a big piece of responsibility in a sense, overall. And I think nowadays, we're in this whole space of collectives and NIL deals and profit sharing now as of July the 1st. So I think a lot of young people really don't know the level of responsibility that comes with this commitment, or it's just not saying, hey, we give you something and that's it. This is for you. Like we have a level of we're expecting an ROI or, a return on our investment by bringing you on board. Like, so is that overwhelming at all?
There definitely is some pressure, but I mean, I feel like I can handle it. As long as I stay true to myself, and yeah, I mean, I think it's not as stressful as it might seem, just because I just think I can do it. Yeah.
Got it. So, Mom, really, you guys are in a very, very unique seat because in this space of this, we talked prior to getting set up, and the money phrase went around 7 to 8 times just in one conversation now. It wasn't like this 6 or 7 years ago. As a parent, you were just happy to have your child get a free education and you didn't have to come out of pocket with any monies. Whereas now, it's a totally different landscape. It couldn't have been easy to navigate, because obviously Puma, sure wasn't the only brand to say, hey, we want you to be an ambassador or represent us. Like, how do you even get to a decision of this magnitude to really say, like, how do we make a decision to go with Puma instead of Nike or Adidas or Under Armour or any other brands that are out there?
Well, I think that the easy part and the lucky part for her is that it's based on performance. So then they know who they want to come after. So the hard part for me, wanting to help other parents, when they say, what do? It's like, you just kind of have to pray and hope that you're just work with your child to be the best they can so that they'll come after you based on what times you run or, whatever sport it is, or, you know, um, based on your sport. Sure. I was trying to find an analogy for basketball, but I couldn't jog my brain. But, and so when they do, and just being aware of it's such a new thing and that you're gonna have to do some research or talk to people. I had to come out of my comfort zone because I'm more of an introvert, but I had to tap into people that I knew and people they knew to just get information that wasn't readily available to how to navigate this. Because there's no dollar amount. There's no, you know how much your child's worth, probably the world, but whatever they offer, is it enough? You don't know. It depends on your situation and your family value and what we're willing to accept. So that's the hard part of it. But knowing that it was coming when the first one was announced years ago, that, I would love that. It looks like she's on that trajectory to get there. So start doing the research then. And then when the other companies come, just ask a lot of questions and just balance it all out. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, it was about what was best, for her, mm-hmm. and how she would perform in the product, the gear. So.
So how does it look like? How does it feel when, like, I don't know what the process is, but if somebody from Nike comes to you or flies you out, how can you not be overwhelmed?
Oh, it's very overwhelming. Yeah, especially when you're just, green at this, and you're like, okay, well, I'll figure out the questions to ask, but you know that they're coming after you, so they want something from you, and you're in the position to just kind of just ask a lot of questions. So, but yeah, and then when you know that one is coming after you, her, and that others are too, and then they know that, then they're just going to be on their best game. So you just kind of go, navigate as you go along, but it was definitely overwhelming. And it came at one time, all at once. But then again, just kind of qualifying each one and how it works best for her. And she had to make that decision. So just to guide her and sit down and figure out the long-term plan and how it's going to benefit your craft. And then also, talk to her about you're a brand, and I have to pinch myself, a brand, and you have to think business because she's a kid still to me. So to have to really tell her to focus and keep all of that, and she's probably more overwhelmed than I am, so it's life-changing.
I remember when Jordan was being recruited, and I remember we would go to different schools, right? Like, I remember we went to Ohio State, and there's so many championship rings and all these diamonds and the bling and all that. Like, that was overwhelming, extreme. Like, as a parent, I'm here to make a biased decision for what's best for my child, but I could see me getting pulled into the lights, right? So we're just talking now. When you agree, you're going where? To what school?
University of Texas.
Got it. Okay. So was that you had already made that decision prior to the brand ambassador, or did you or didn't you?
I didn't. It was like around the same time, but like, I was about to choose Texas, but the deal kind of came before, or like, yeah, they were reaching out before.
I was going to say it was overwhelming, and I meant to add that this was all in the fall. We were going on all these official visits for college, and then, so then the offers were coming to then, right after she ran the Olympic trials. And so that was a lot to navigate, because, going on these visits and taking it all in and then negotiating with the brand. So, yeah, that was a busy time, but yeah.
So that doubled the level of intensity, because one by itself is challenging, but to really kind of make a realistic business decision or a life-changing decision based off of business, had to be extremely overwhelming. Now, when we talk about overwhelming, you sat in our KOBY curriculum, right? How has KOBY overall helped you in the process? And what's one good takeaway that you got from our KOBY curriculum?
Oh, sorry. Being in that class, it kind of was like a realization that this is all like happening. It was, I guess, it was just preparing me for just being in college in general, not just like as an athlete, but like as a student, because like college, I mean, it's college. You're a student before you're an athlete, and just having to balance the two, that definitely came up a lot in the class, and yeah, it made me think about that a lot, and just also the mental aspect of there's like a lot of pressure, and you're in a new environment, a new space. So I guess the class helped me to realize I need to reach out and get support, but also um, like figure out how to balance the academic and athletic portion of college. So
Yeah, we know. Yeah, of course it was. Yeah, of course it was. Now, you remember what I said, or Wendy and I, which is my educational director, do you remember what we said towards the end at the last class? I don't know. I remember what I said. Do you remember?
I don't know. I have to think about
It's okay. Now, what I said was this stuff may not resonate now, but it will resonate later, right? And obviously, your train moved a lot faster probably than a lot of your classmates that were in that class with us. Did that help you at all, right? Like in regards to just, what does KOBY keep on believing in yourself mean to you now?
I mean, it definitely means to have like faith in yourself, because I feel like a lot of the stuff I couldn't have done like without just like believing in myself, and um, just knowing that I can take the next step. Um, so that class, your class definitely helped me with that, and I really appreciate the timing of it and just the class in general. I learned a lot.
Would you recommend it to anybody, like any classmates, any other student athletes? Like how important was that, especially where you were in the process?
It definitely is important. I'm glad I was able to go as a senior, because that's when everything's kind of starting to happen. Also junior year, because you're about to get there. So yeah, being since the class was like mostly upperclassmen, I think that was good, because like that's like the time in your life where you kind of need that guidance. So yeah.
Good. So, Mom, she was coming home. Was she saying anything about the class, the KOBY curriculum? Like, was she getting anything? You can be honest, but
No, I'm honest. No,
yeah,
she
yeah,
didn't, because she
Okay.
said she doesn't share right away. But
Got
then
it.
later on, I'm like, oh well, gosh, I told her she's inward, so
Right.
but she did after the fact, and
Yeah.
I'm like, wow. So she
Right.
did retain a lot of it,
Yeah.
and then I got it late. But
Got it.
that's
Got it. It's
that's
never, as
typical.
long as you got it, it's
I
on
got
time
it.
for
Better
sure.
late than never,
Yeah,
right?
it's on time for sure. So, Mom, you guys went through college recruitment. You got a major brand, right? How are you guys doing overall mentally? Like, what's keeping you grounded? Peaceful, from a peaceful perspective, mental health perspective. Because again, that's one of the things that really can kind of get away from us. Like at the end of the day, our foundation of anything of our level of success is our mental health. Did you learn something, or how's that going? Or what systems do you all have in place? What tools are you using?
Prayer, music. thoughtfulness, thinking of how to give back, ways of giving back, and just living in the moment, but not living in the moment. Just really enjoying and not, being happy with what we have. And yeah, just trying to figure out how to help others too, because it's such a new and changing thing. So
Totally agree. Totally agree. Mom, you're dealing with the contract thing, right? Who do you need to have on your team for parents listening to do any type of deal? Because now I always say, a bad contract is the one that you sign without reading, right? But it's totally up to us, because again, whoever we're in the process of doing business with, they're looking at their self-interest versus our self-interest. You made a good point. So we look at, I think some of the best moms when it came to contracts, two popped to mind. Michael Jordan's mom, obviously, right? And I'm thinking of a young man, a guy named Jason Weaver. He's an actor, right? And Jason Weaver was the young man that sung "If I Could Be King" in The Lion King. And I smoked cigars with this guy. That's why I brought him up. We kind of live in the same area in Georgia. And his mom saw the big picture. Like, no, we don't want to take the upfront money, but we will take this back in the long-term money, right? And obviously he's probably in a lifetime situation, or a lifetime betterment of a situation, or quality of life based off of that one decision. How do you tell parents that say, hey, I've never been in this position before, you're offering my son or daughter this type of contract, right? It seems good right now, right? What piece of advice would you give in regards to a right now contract?
have patience. Don't jump on the first option, because then there's one, there's more to come. And have somebody in your camp that's legally savvy, like an attorney, or someone financially savvy, because then you have to start planning. You don't want to not go over those steps with your child about the importance of smart finances. But really, that's it: legal, financial, and then patience. Ask a lot of questions, and your sport family, whatever team or club you're with, really those people that you're close to, just tap into those folks too, people that you trust, and do a lot of research.
Yep.
I mean, it's not a lot out there, but still just ask those questions.
Yep. Yep.
If it's out of your comfort zone, just still do it, because it's valuable.
So as a family, how did you all choose? Because I think nowadays, as parents, we can kind of I don't believe in letting kids make decisions. No offense, right? But again, you haven't seen as much as the world as we've seen. So yeah, I may want to go over here. I want to may go over here. And as my new book talks about the fifth quarter, how important was that to say, we're making the best decision as a family that will set you up for when all of this is over with? How important is that?
Very important. But then there's, especially when you're very confident and you know yourself very well, you get some pushback, especially when it came to making decisions with college. But we knew best as parents that these are the factors you need to think about, because, for example, we know this, and maybe this school isn't the best for you, but just consider it. And she did that. So, but when it came to this, with the information that I gathered, that we had, I said, well, this is what you need to think about here. And she didn't. She listened, but she knew that I think she trusted me. So that was good, right, that I had her confidence. But yeah, 18 still not mature enough to know all of the, the ins and outs of this. So I'm glad she put her confidence in me, and since we didn't have an agent, and let me kind of guide her through the right decision. And we talked about it. And at the end of the day, she went with the brand out of the ones that were considering her with what best aligned with her future and her craft. So, yeah.
So what attracted you? What about Puma attracted you? Their culture, their values. What was it about them? Because you had options. Let's just call it what it is. Like you're in a good position. You're in a good position. You had options. So what was it about them for you individually, then we'll talk it over with mom and the family, and then we'll make a collective decision. But for you, what was it?
I definitely liked Puma's values in general. I liked how they kind of promoted individuality, and how they saw me as, a person, just not, outside of being an athlete, because, that's important. It's not just, track that they're like representing. It's like, me as a person. So I thought I liked how they emphasized that. Also, like, it's not just about the money. They're also, giving you their gear. So um, Puma is very, like, forever faster. They're like a speed uh, based brand, and that's really important to me because, like, I'm a sprinter, so I have to see, like, their spikes and, like, just how their gear, if it works for me. And I really liked, they have, like, a lot of options. Like, they have so many different types of spikes, which as a sprinter that's really important because you want something that, fits you specifically, because every athlete's different, so you just want something for you. So I really liked their spikes, and just their gear in general. The brand is just, everyone knows Puma. It's it's just like one of those brands, like, known around the world, and it's like iconic. I don't know. Yeah.
Good stuff. Well, hey, I'm great. Thank you for having me, but thank you for coming today. Like, you're really, mom, you did a great job. So, any parting words that you want to say to the next young lady that I'm sure you'll be an example for, anything that may come to mind, because you're on your way.
I mean, I definitely say to believe in yourself and to just stay with it, because, I mean, I've been doing this since I was like 7, and um, I didn't know that it would get to this point. So you also really have to enjoy it, because I really love track, and you don't want to lose that love, because how are you going to keep going, right? So definitely that, but also just stick with it. You have to be determined. You have to just keep pushing yourself to be your best, and yeah, stick with it.
Got it. Mom, you're man, you're literally a trailblazer for a lot of parents to come, right? And again, we with the Jordan McNabb Foundation and with this whole KOBY project, we really believe in, like, peer-to-peer education. So, people that's going to look like you and people that are in this same space. They may not be. You look like you're relatively young, but at the end of the day, we're dealing with people that are, like, literally trying to navigate these waters of collectives and NILs and obviously profit sharing and pay to play. Man, like, what advice, like, because I know it's been overwhelming for you, but who better to tell it than obviously somebody that's gone through it so far?
I would just say, for the younger parents with younger kids, I would get your kids into different sports, various sports. Don't, try to live through your kid and put them in a sport that you did. Expose them to so many different avenues, because you don't know what they like and are, talented at, and that could be their future. So I'd say start there at a younger age. But then when they're older and they're on a path, just continue to be confident in yourself that you can do this, and guide them, but also uplift them, be encouraging, and, learn, ask a lot of questions, and just be supportive. Just be supportive. And, people that are there, resources to help you, tap into them. Like, I'm definitely tapping into your resources. It's definitely part of our
I
journey.
only wrote a book that talks about some of this stuff. You know what I mean? For sure. Right.
Only a book.
Exactly. Right. Just, the fifth quarter, if you don't have, make sure you get it. Right.
So you are definitely a role model, and,
Yeah, thank you.
people can look and see what you've done. It's definitely inspiring.
Right.
So thank you for what you do.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you both for being on the show today. Man, like, I guarantee you, this episode will definitely help somebody else. Elise, we definitely are rooting for you, and I'm confident that you will be successful long after you finish running track and making the world a better place. And Danny, thank you so much for joining us today. And, hey, again, our children are a reflection of who we are. And I think that that's just so important. I was more amazed at who Jordan was to other people because that was a reflection of me and his mom, Tanya. So thank you again, everybody. This is Marty McNair signing out from the KOBY Blueprint podcast, where courage, confidence, and self-advocacy are unleashed. Have a great day.